Good evening, everybody. Cariboo Weather Dude YouTube channel, and this will be the first of what should be many snow and ski reports for British Columbia this winter from myself here on the channel. So click like, share, and subscribe if the condition of the snow and where to go is your thing that you want to know. That and more here on the channel. Okay, yes, ski reports. I got a whole bunch of dates opening for you. I got some hazards in the backcountry for you to consider. And we got some general reports on where snow has fallen, where it is falling, where it's going to fall, where you might want to go if you're planning a trip this weekend, for example. Okay, let's get on with it. Let's go. There it is.
This is bad news. My God.
Falling out right now.
Anything could happen.
Get on!
Wow.
I'll watch the video later. They try mopping this. One thing I do want to caution you on, though, is I'm looking at SnowSeeker's site here. I haven't been checking with the actual resorts themselves, so what's reported for opening and what may actually happen are two different things. So you might want to still check in with the resorts before you drive halfway across British Columbia to get where you think the best snow is going to be. Still, we're going to do our best for you right now to report, first of all, on openings. Okay, Apex is taking snowfall right now. They've already got 15 centimeters, they say, in the last 24 hours, up to 39 in the base. So that is one that is opening this weekend, for example. Tentatively opening on the 12th is Baldy, Big White. Should be opening today, I think, and it should be taking snow right now. There's a snowfall warning in the Kelowna area. They got 68 centimeters of base, though, right now, so that's good news. Cypress, Fernie, Grouse, all tentative. Snow quality on the southwest there, not sure of. They haven't taken near as much in the southeast as they'd like to yet, but let's have a look at Fernie and see what they're saying. Fernie, 58 centimeters, so they do have some snow there on the base, it sounds like. So hopefully they will be opening. Hudson Bay Mountain, they just took a whole ton of snow. They should be good to go. Kicking Horse Mountain, they'll be opening this weekend. They should be good to go, I would think, if Fernie is. Kimberly, certainly, if the Fernie is, I'd say Kimberly's probably going to be good to go, but that's not till December 12th. Manning is December 13th. We're going to go on down the list here now. Not for a little while yet. Mount Cain to the 13th. Timothy here, December 19th estimated. Mount Washington, December 12th estimated. They not got the snow, I don't think, yet in Vancouver Island. But I'm not exactly sure. Well, we could just check and find out. Oh, yeah, it doesn't look too good for Mount Washington. Meanwhile, Mount Seymour, not till the 12th. Murray Ridge ski area there in Fort St. James, estimated December 19th, so in time for the Christmas holidays. Panorama, they're hoping should be open on December 5th, so this weekend. Phoenix Mountain, not till the 19th. Powder King, open already. They got snow there. We'll look at them a little bit there. Red Mountain, not till the 13th. Revelstoke, estimated to open this weekend. They should be taking enough snow now, I would think, with this several rounds of snow this week coming at them. Sasquatch Mountain, Shames Mountain should be already open. Uphill season only. I don't know what Shames Mountain is. Sasquatch Mountain, I guess if you know where Shames Mountain is, you probably already know. Sasquatch Mountain expected to open this weekend. Yeah, skiing at Hudson Bay right there. Looks good. Silver Star, open already. Silver Star Alpine on the 5th. What about Sun Peaks, November 27th? It's already open. Troll, estimated on December 12th. They're taking snow here right now. Hoping that's climbing down the mountain for Troll, and that's going to start piling up because it was still bare at the lodge last night when I drove on by. Whistler, open, though not much for snow in the valley, I don't think. Whitewater Ski Resort, looking at December 5th. Before we look at the snowpack any further, let's just check out one thing that Avalanche Canada put out there on Friday. First of all, daily public avalanche forecasts have started this week. You know, there is quite a few areas that are in moderate danger just because of all the fresh snow, although things are looking good all in all. In many of our forecasting areas, terrain at tree line or below is looking pretty rugged with not much snow coverage at that time. Well, that's probably changing in a lot of places right now, in some places for sure. The exception to this seems to be the northwest coast of BC and the Yukon. They took a lot of snow down there to Valley Bottom. In southern BC, the snowpack at tree line was below thin. However, again, that's probably starting to change a little bit with the snow that we're taking right now. But that's not why we're watching this article, reading it. What they're saying is something I think is important. It says at lower elevations where avalanche danger is low, the main concern is what's under or barely under the snow. So we're not talking about too much snow causing avalanches yet. We're talking about, hey, look out for rocks, stumps, Bushes, think about your knees, arms, and other ground contacting gear. You got to watch out for creeks still. There's not that much snow there. They're wide open. Bridges that have been formed over them are probably very weak, so if you think you can go over a creek, you might not make it. Challenging. Think luge track. Combined with the short days, it's a good idea to start your egress early. So if you're going out there in the back country, we got these short days getting shorter and shorter and shorter for the next little while. And if you're going in the back country, you don't have much time to get things done in a day and get out. It's a different story in the Alpine. Avalanche season's in full swing with some near misses and natural avalanches reported in the Mountain Information Network. So make the mental switch in terrain management once you're up there. If we're heading into the backcountry, we get into the Alpine and stay there for most of our time since this is where the good riding is. Be cautious about crevices. Thin snow cover can hide them, and weak snow bridges may not be strong enough to support a person's weight. In elevation bands with moderate or higher avalanche danger, the above concerns likely still exist, but if there's enough snow for fun sliding or sledding, there's enough snow to avalanche. Right, so if you get past the point where rocks and bushes and shrubs aren't a danger, well, now you're probably up into the part of the mountain where avalanche concerns are. Across our forecast area, the avalanche problem we're seeing is wind slabs, so stuff off exposed alpine terrain. That's good to know. We'll go again, though. Things are changing this week, so you're planning your weekend. You want to make sure you're checking back at Avalanche Canada for their latest forecaster blog, but also the conditions that the weekend is probably going to house. We're going to have some temperature fluctuations that may change things a little bit, especially with a little bit of this freezing rain on some of these locations. It's important that you read avalanche forecasts for where you're planning to go and know what you're going to do when you get up there. It's important to continually assess conditions as you gain elevation. Snowpack depth can increase quickly as you reach the tree line. Also, remember that even small unexpected slough can knock you off your feet or sled and push you somewhere you weren't planning to go. With a shallow snowpack like this, we aren't just worried about being pushed over a cliff, but falling into a stump or a rock that is barely buried. Barely buried. That's what it was looking like up at the White Pass there. The Northwest taking pretty good snowfall, 1 meter and more there. Looking nice, and it's going to look like that more and more in the coming weeks here in BC, although maybe not the crazy December snowfall yet that we've had in the past. We're still taking some snow, and that means the mountaintops will be taking some snow. Avalanche conditions will be changing. And like I say, if you're in areas where there is an avalanche danger, well, then you're in danger hitting rocks and stuff like that and stumps. Looking at snowfall in Canada right now, some of the biggest snowfall outside of British Columbia is in Quebec there in the mountains through Quebec, 60 centimeters in a few places. Lots of 40s and 30s at higher elevations through that part of Quebec there where that last storm went through. If you get up into the, higher country of Newfoundland, go up to the Torn Gap Mountains in the very far north there, you got lots of 60 centimeters, 60, 50, 60, 70 centimeters. So that's where some of the biggest snowfall outside British Columbia is. A little bit of snow through Ontario, sure. A little bit of snow in the far north there. Lots in the Yukon and on the Northwest Territory border. Still kind of dryish, though, if you go south along that dry side of the mountains there in the Northwest Territories. Not very much there in Saskatchewan. Hopefully we can see a change on that in the coming days. Alberta, patchy at best. Into the mountains now, And the reason why we're using this HRDPS model, it's a little bit more higher resolution. If we go to the ECMWF modeling, it's much lower resolution. You can kind of just get, general vicinity. Same with the icon. So it looks like high up on the mountain in Whistler, it looks like there's some pretty good snowfall up there. Maybe not so much in the town site itself. Okay, we'll look in a minute at what we're expecting to see later this week for snowfall, try to gauge where we're going at for the weekend. So some snowfall there, sure. Some snowfall outside Hope in the mountains there. Not that big of a snowpack, though. Not that big of a base for some of those areas. A little better if you go into the Kootenays, a little better if you go into Rogers Pass there. Snowfall looking pretty good up there. 60 centimeters of base, that sounds good. I bet you there's more than that. I'm sure there is more than that, especially once we look at this week coming up. There's more than that. Fernie, what do we got, Fernie? See, this snow depth doesn't equal what they're reporting for their snow base, right? So we're going to be skeptical on all this. More snow in the big mountains for sure. Now we got, if we're looking at big white areas like that, they don't show up very good yet here, but they're taking snow today. So that will change. Same with up into the north there, up to the Pine Pass. Definitely some good snow in the Northern Rockies. Definitely some good snow as you go down the Northern Rockies. And then what about in the Jasper side? 46 centimeters in some of the bigger mountains there. So, varying snow amounts, but more taking on. Some of that bigger stuff, looking pretty good around Vail Mount. Some pretty good snowfall totals around there. So that's what we're dealing with. Still not that much around here in Wells. Still Troll, not looking that good. They're taking some snow. Again, we'll keep a little bit skeptical on where we think this is going. But if we zoom out for a second and we just bump ahead a day or two, what do we see for difference after this event? Looks like most regions in BC now, except for maybe down by Francois Lakes, have a little bit of snow by the time we come to Wednesday. So that's the good news. And we have another event starting Wednesday that's going to bring more snow yet. So that is more good news. What about up by Smithers? Seems like some solid snow is up there on Hudson Bay Mountain outside Smithers, with more to come. Because between this afternoon and Saturday, most regions are going to take some snow. More here in the Cariboo Mountains. It looks good. Kind of a, empty stretch there on the dry side of the, coast mountains. What do you expect there? Ashcroft, they're not a place that gets a lot of snow. They did take some today, though, too. Into the Monashees, good-looking snowfall between now and Saturday with that next event coming on through. So we're going to keep seeing more snowfall. The next storm will kind of hit towards us on Wednesday. Some of us, though, won't feel the effects all that much until Thursday. But as you can see, a little bit of snowfall landing everywhere. So whatever the base is reporting at your mountain you're intending to go to this weekend, at least you can say to yourself, hey, we're going to add some snow onto that base. It's going to be even a little bit better than they're reporting right now. So as this tails out on into Tuesday, looking a little bit better. The high pressure that's sitting in southern BC here steers more into us. We have this larger low out here. This sort of a first splash coming Wednesday. I thought we are going to see more on Thursday, but looks like some of that's going to make its way into the southern interior on into Thursday, possibly. Sure, there's a new kind of low starting up that's jumping over into the prairie side out of this guy too. So what is Thursday looking like? Still tailing out into southeastern BC a little bit, but Thursday isn't maybe the day I thought, unless you're in the Peace that we were looking at. It's going to be Friday where things turn really aggressively bad. So that's, so far our best guess. Well, I hope that helped you kind of decide what you want to do with your skiing and snowboarding weekend, or maybe even if you're ready to take your sled out or not yet. Don't go driving your sled into some big old friggin' rocks or something like that. I remember being at Forest Power Sports up there in Prince George getting sled parts, and then the guy was like, oh, someone from Wells was just here a couple days ago. I was like, oh, who's that? And he said, oh, his name is Jason. And at the time, that was the RCMP officer. The only person named Jason was in town. And I said, oh, what happened to him? And he said, oh, he hit a rock. And I was like, the second week of November, so we had like a foot of snow here in Wells at the time, it was closer to a normal winter. Back when I used to own a sled, we had normal winters here. But poor old Jason there, he drove that police sled straight into a big rock, it sounded like, or a log or something like that. Out touring around when there wasn't quite enough snow yet. Okay, everybody, well, the snow is starting at least. There's more coming. We'll keep you updated as best we can here through the week. Hit like, share, subscribe. Come back again. Ciao.